tatta dhim tatakita dhim tadim tattam.
Hello there, welcome to my channel. This is Padma, and on this channel I share with you the practice and philosophy of body-led spirituality, which is inspired by ancient goddess traditions from my culture, which is India. And today I am going to share with you some reflections and a couple of very simple practices about goddess Ratri, or the goddess of the night. Nighttime or darkness was very central to many ancient traditions. In fact, the goddess herself was a dimension of the night, was an invocation of the night. The night symbolized the mystery, the unknown, the unknowable dimension of reality. It held the ancient intelligence that reality at its heart is unknowable, that it unfolds as a movement, but it always eludes conquest by the mind. It always eludes the efforts of the mind to completely know it and to conquer it with meaning or with a linear narrative. When the mind-dominated philosophies and traditions became important across the world, this importance to mystery and darkness was really lost. In fact, the darkness became a suspicious dimension. It became a place of evil. It became a place that had to be rejected for its opposite, which was daytime and light. So the divine became about light. Everything was light and to be seen, and about the brilliance and the radiance. And that quietness of the night, that intimacy of the night, that invitation of the night to come very close to oneself. Because when we lose that daylight, that light which allows us to project into the distance and to look at the distant horizon, it really returns us to the intimacy of our own consciousness, the intimacy of our own self, and the depth of ourself, and how much of ourself is actually a mystery, which reflects the mystery about reality itself. So this was a beautiful practice in ancient times, very much an embodied practice. Let me share with you an invocation of night, goddess night or goddess Ratri, which is from one of the ancient texts called the Vedas, which is about 8 to 10,000 years old. It's a very ancient invocation, and it really brings to you this dimension of the night or the darkness, or what it was that these ancient traditions actually saw as important in this practice. So the invocation says that Ratri or night, the goddess, is like a dwelling. It's the time when we return, the birds return to their homes, the animals go to their homes, and we return to our places of rest. It's that time of returning, the time when we come back to the intimacy of ourself. And we want to enjoy this swapna, which is that deep sleep where we can dream. So it is the domain of that sleep, that dimension of consciousness where we are given messages, where we're given wisdom, we're given insights that are completely not of the nature of that consciousness of the day. There's something really beautiful that emerges in this swapna, the dimension of that swapna consciousness. It says that the night protects us. It is a time of praise. It protects praise, of prayer, and it protects the energy. It protects the energy like the energy of the horses. So that time of sleeping, when we come back from all the doing, and we come back to that time of prayer, we come back to that time of revitalizing, reviving, resting, replenishing our energy, that reviving that energy in us. And it is also the night also fills the earth, the vastness of the earth, the bruhad, or the vastness of the earth, because during the daytime, we distinguish things. We see things, we see things, we differentiate them. But the night just, and it says the night rises up from the earth, because there is night inside the earth, the darkness of the earth. She rises up from the earth and she makes everything one. She dissolves all the differences in her darkness. It's like she just paints everything in this beautiful velvety darkness, and we don't distinguish anything anymore. It all becomes the one. And then she reveals the celestial heavens full of impetuous stars, these stars that are twinkling with such impetuosity. And there is this liveliness in the night. We think of the night as a time where nothing happens. We sometimes we live in times where in fact, I feel like we almost discard the night. We light up the night with gadgets, with lights. Sometimes when I go for a walk at night, I find it difficult to actually find a place where you can allow the darkness to just envelop you, because we live in the middle of cities and places that have so many lights and houses with lights. So this beautiful vision, if you can find a place dark enough and you look up at the sky and there is this impetuosity of these millions of dancing, twinkling stars. And night is that which brings the earth and the sky together. So here's this very important line. So the night leaps up, and in dissolving everything, it is this experience of non-linearity, non-duality. The earth and the sky, which during the daylight is very separate because we can see, in the night, it's like it's the one painting. It's like that the stars, they rise up, and you can feel like you're completely in a bowl of stars sometimes. It's that bringing together the earth and the sky, that beautiful experience of non-linearity. So this invocation of the night holds many dimensions of the goddess herself, the most important of them being this non-linearity. The goddess space is somewhere where these distinctions between black and white, heaven and earth, and the fundamental distinction that is between me and reality, they all dissolve. I'm not an observer of reality, but I am in the night, because in the night I sometimes can't even see myself. I can only see this black paint, and I can't even see myself. And there is this sensation of intimacy that, because we can't look so much into the distance, we come very close to ourselves. So there is all these beautiful dimensions to the invocation of the night. And let me share with you a couple of simple things you can do to invoke the night. One is, if you ever get a chance, step out, and you don't need to go very far. If you have a backyard or somewhere just outside the house, if you can go where there's not too much light, of course, where you're safe, if you can go and just be surrounded by the night, it's a beautiful experience. It's so simple and so available. And we all live in cities, and it's important to have something simple to do. I always like to share something simple, not where you have to go into an exotic place and find something special to do this, but something that you can do every day just outside your house. Find the night and look up at the sky. Don't worry about what the constellations are and trying to name and distinguish the constellations. That's the observer status that the mind has. But just be and look and just be amongst the stars and in the night. The other simple practice you can do is to close your eyes. So just sit however you can, on a chair or on the floor, and bring your chin down, lift up the chest and open the chest, and just gently close your eyes and see the darkness that meets your eyes. When we close the eyes, we think that we don't see anymore, that we are cut off from things. But here, when you close your eyes, see the darkness. That is the goddess Ratri that is within you, leaping up. When you turn towards her, she leaps up to your eyes. Just take some time to settle down and really look at this darkness. See it behind your eyes. If you need to put your hands to cover your eyes to make it a little more dark, you can do that, keeping the eyes closed. And then as you sit with it, you'll notice that the darkness is moving. There's movement in the darkness. And there might even be streaks of color that may come and go. Again, my invitation is, don't worry about naming the colors or naming the movement. Just feel that movement and the darkness. And then you can spend as long as you like or as short as you like. It does take some time for us to settle into that, seeing that darkness, sensing that movement. And this is Ratri, that is within us, leaping up to meet us as soon as we turn towards her. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and try to keep that movement and that sensation of that depth in you, that goddess in you, that moving, rich darkness in you, which is the presence of the goddess. I hope that you will enjoy this practice, and I hope that it will bring you that sensation of the beauty and the movement, the dynamism of the unknowable, and that there is beauty and intelligence in not needing to conquer everything with meaning and knowing. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to your company again on this channel.